I took my first opening range breakout live today. Sort of. I say sort of because by the time I entered, the setup was already gone, and I'm just going to explain what happened, what I missed, and what I'm going to do differently tomorrow. But I'm really excited that I took one. Okay. I have been planning on doing the opening range breakout since I reread Andrew Aziz's book, Day Trading for a Living. I have a book review that'll be coming out this weekend, but one of the setups he talks about is opening range breakout. So I have been struggling during the market open with small caps, and I've wanted to find another strategy for after the market open for a while. I like trading small caps during the pre-market, but after the market open, not loving it. So I was considering another strategy, and when I reread his book, it really hit me that, he's day trading large and mid caps after the market open. So I thought I would give it a try. So yesterday I was practicing on the live stream, and today I actually took a trade for 10 shares. I'll probably actually only do one share going forward until I get used to it. But if you trade the opening range breakout, please, 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 I am looking for any feedback, constructive criticism, please. Any help whatsoever, because I'm trying to get that dialed in for the market open. Okay, but first, before we get into that trade, I just want to talk about the other trade that I took today, because the first trade that I took is directly relevant to my weekly goal, which is working on my exit indicators. And I was green on my trade, but I had a fail. So first of all, I don't think it was a strong setup. It was a micro pullback, but I don't think it was a strong micro pullback setup. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and I'll show you on the 1 minute chart. Okay, so I got in on a pullback here. Okay, this is the 1 minute chart, but I was using the 10-second chart. It dipped down a little, but it didn't hit my stop. So I said, okay, I'm going to try to go for break even. But then I saw price hesitation. That was the first exit indicator. I said, I'm going to reset my stop at break even. So then it went up past my stop. And instead of waiting for another indicator, I got out. Okay, I got out here on this candle. I don't know if you can see it. I got out here on this candle. So that was a bit of a fail in my process. What I was supposed to do is reset my stop to break even and then look for a second exit indicator. However, I was green on the trade. So 0.6R, which is still falling short of my 0.8 goal. But you know what? This is what I'm working on this week. So that's a work in progress. So hopefully I will get more trades Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so I can continue to work on that goal. Because at this point, I am, let's see, this is 12 trades into my 20 trade. I have to have at least 20 trades to look at data to decide if I'm going to scale up. So today we're trades 11 and 12. But honestly, I'm not going to meet my P&L R criteria. But that's okay. It's possible, but not probable. Okay, so let's get to the topic of today's video, which is QUBT. So I was looking at a bunch of stocks for opening range breakouts, and I'm very new to this. I traded 10 shares. I should have just traded one share, which is what I'll do tomorrow. However, I set the opening, and actually I'll show you on Thinkorswim. Because you can see I had the 5-minute opening range breakout here. Okay, and I got in late. I should have got in when this candle broke over. Okay, I got in at 1439. I should have gotten in somewhere around here, about 1373. I immediately set a stop for 10 cents a share, I realized when I got in that I was in too high. Okay, so I realized that I hadn't really done the opening range breakout, so I just set a stop of 10 cents a share and it hit my stop. However, two things I want to point out. The first one is that I realized that I had a late entry, so it was technically no longer an opening range breakout. That's how I'm tagging it in my journal because that's what I was attempting to do. And the second thing is this ATR line, which I'm going to do a video on that. But according to Andrew Aziz's book, which I had open when I was making the trade, the opening range shouldn't be near or above this ATR line, the average true range line. So I didn't realize that until after the trade. So that's a second thing that I have to be careful of tomorrow. So tomorrow, what I would do differently, well, first of all, I'm only going to trade with one share for opening range breakouts until I kind of get the hang of it. Second of all, I will make sure that the buy makes sense with the average true range. And the third thing, which is what I did great, was I set the stop order right after entering the trade. However, what I will be doing in the future is setting the stop right below the entry. Okay. So, I'll probably do like 10 cents below the entry. So if the entry was at 1368, I would make my stop at 1358. All right, so that is the opening range breakout. And what I really want to kind of hammer home is that today I didn't feel like I really stuck to all my rules. My first trade, the setup wasn't super clear. I missed the second indicator and left money on the table again. And this is something that's really going to hold me back. This is honestly becoming my main bottleneck. Even though risk management is the most important thing in terms of preserving capital and preserving sanity, honestly, leaving money on the table and not letting my winners run is really going to hold me back from scaling up. Because if I'm not profitable, what am I doing here, right? Isn't that the goal, to be profitable? So, however, today, lots of right things. First of all, I did place my stop on QUBT right after opening the trade. That was great. And that's why the loss was only $1, because it was dropping, but it hit my loss and my stop order and it sold. And that was absolutely great. And this is the thing. This is the first time I had to do that since I screwed up the last one last week, and I had my note on here that after the market opens, place a stop loss order. And honestly, it worked. And I've been reading my trading plan every single day, and that has helped me so much. So if you think a trading plan is something that is like poo-poo optional, please don't do that. I absolutely didn't nail down my trading plan before, and now it is like really helpful. Okay, I'm also going to be doing a trading plan for my large cap strategy, and I will be posting that on Substack as well. I'll probably have a trading plan for my different strategies. I'm thinking of maybe trying to scalp gold futures, but that's down the road. Okay, so let's see. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. Like I said, going forward, I'm going to trade mid and large caps for the time being after market open. So before market open, 7 to 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be small caps, momentum trading. After the market open. It will be mid and large caps mostly. I'll still trade small caps if I see something, but I feel like I'm going to look more at price action, volume, and I'm looking for a little bit more of a stable strategy after market open. I really like the idea of waiting and watching and then entering if I see something. The slower pace is really appealing to me. So once I nail down the opening range breakout, I will probably explore other setups for after the market opens. And honestly, I'm very open to, an evolving strategy. Like I started off with small caps and, that's taught me so much, but you have to follow the money, right? So if I'm doing better at other strategies, that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow, early, 7 a.m., trading live. And I'll see you tomorrow. Trade smart, guys. Bye-bye.